Alright, today we're eventually making a start on some sort of veg garden, for this year at least. Remember, the pigs have been up here for about a month and we gave them so much space that they didn't really clear all the grass. So some of this has been scraped up with the tractor, hence why there's more of a hump up that end. But a lot of it is now cleared to a decent point where we can just spread out this compost which we just had delivered. And when we scale up a bit, we'll get a big 10-ton lorry. The guy who makes this compost does kind of 500-ton batches, and it's good stuff. So we're hoping that we can kind of make long-term plans up here and also elsewhere. So first job I'm going to do is just stake out the corners, because we are in rabbit country here. Six, 700 mil above the ground should just be fine. We just will make sure that if we ever bring the sheep back up this way, we'll have the electric fence up anyway. So one thing we know is we want grass from this fence to the border, which is about the width of the topper. That way we can drive down and just mow that in one hit. Okay, hold it there. Very good. Right, let's get in a straight line at least. Turns out that the height of the post rammer is exactly what we need, so we just don't need it at that angle. God. It's like digging in the beach, this stuff. To be honest, for the purposes of today, we don't actually need this. We don't even have the wire yet. It's just to give a boundary to prop up to. Joe's going to bring up the cardboard, start laying it on this area here. So you've got the 4 measurement, I need 3 to get 5. We're both struggling with our GCSE maths. However, Joe's got 4 metres along. Eh?
Speak for yourself.
You remember it, do you? Joe's got 4 metres along there. We've got a 3 metre mark on our string somewhere. So as long as we can make this diagonal 5 metres, it means that this will be a perfect right angle. We'll get a drone shot and it'll be like a rhombus.
Okay, Eden, if she bleeds, it's on you.
Legally it's on you and on camera. If she bleeds, it's on you. Everything to that point was dug out, there's no grass there, so we'll cover up this corner. A bit of cardboard.
I'll take down the plastic.
This compost is it's matured, but that is still probably too hot to plant in until it's really spread out. I mean, it's crazy. I can barely touch that. It's that hot.
Tim has gone to a party, because I've done a lot of parties recently. So he's gone to a Fairies in the Woodlands party with Faith, and I'm left with the other rebel, who've generally made themselves scarce, although might be coming to return. Just shows you that we're a real family. Our children generally don't want to endure all our activity ideas. But we are now going to spread this cardboard out just as Tim has directed me, because he's very, very particular about how it is laid out. I know, totally uncharacteristically like him. And then we're going to spread all this compost out and then hopefully be done before he gets back. Mikey's helping already.
Where's that way?
going to get hot there.
What you're made for, and there's nothing that is too late for. Out of the cold into my warm hand, in the sun, it's already begun. You are my one, with a simple mind, we should find some.
Right, we're cracking on with a little veg garden project. There are a bunch of old troughs that were in the metal barn. They are rusted through. We're doing a bit of rust removal. That's what you get after decades of service. But there'll be enough for compost. And this will be our tomato troughs. The thing we want to do is not waste all of our compost by putting, you know, whatever these are, 500ml deep compost in here, because it's just excessive. So we're going to fill the bottom with some straw, some logs, anything else, small children, and then about half full of compost. If we chuck our willow logs in there, they'll probably grow. All that is Get your hand in there. That's hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd believe me. That is, if you had a radiator that temperature in your house, you'd be happy. God, that would just cook a plant. That's why we can't have it too deep.
I got that. Oh, look. Get more. Oh, more.
Use this one, darling. A longer shovel is... I've been bending, yeah, exactly. I've been bending over with these old spades for years, and then I suddenly realised why long handles make so much sense. I want to get one of those, but with a flat shovel on the end. And this is one we brought up from the old house, so that's full as well for herbs. Again, this came from the old house. We also leave the mint in a pot and then sink the pot in the ground. Otherwise it just spreads and takes everything over. So I split this one in half. I'll repot it, and then I think I'm going to sink this pot in the corner there. That'll be plenty. We should be able to disguise this so it looks like it's just part of the bed. Although we're using these for tomatoes, and I was going to take these off, that might actually work. You could plant this one up with something different. Maybe we'll leave that on and put basil in here. That's quite a cool one. Maybe this one might have to float in it still. Actually, it might be worth repurposing that. It might be worth putting on a new one. We are almost ready for some planting. We've done tomatoes and herbs and some salad, and we've got the seedlings that Joe started back in the greenhouse at the house, and we're going to pick up a few more bits, but we've got a load of potatoes to get in. Better late than never. Onions. What else?
I don't know.
Beans.
Yeah.
Oh look, your favourite even, cabbages. We're going to do loads of courgettes because it is great feed for the pigs. We'll get through it. Well, it looks like it should work. What do you reckon?
What do you mean? What should work? The veg?
Yeah, it's enough compost. We've also got really good soil here, so this top layer, as soon as they're through, they'll be on the good stuff as well. Planted up all those potatoes and we've still got loads left, and onions, stuff we can store. Next thing we need to do is get some fencing up. I think I'm going to bring up that electric fence now, Jay. Is that alright? Because otherwise a deer could come up here tonight. Boom. Not that it will stop them, so just jump over it. But... Alright, it's one of those days where we need to kind of do some jobs before the actual jobs. First job is another wonky gate. It's not particularly efficient at the way it closes, and there's a great big gap underneath, which was fine for cows but not for sheep. Kind of just sitting there. You can see it used to be in a hole up there, but we want it lower, so I'm going to hang it lower the other end, which means we need to make sure that if it's going to sit down that low or even lower, that we dig out all this soil which is getting in the way. And I'm not sure the loader on the tractor will make much of a better job, or maybe it will. Now by the time I get it out I could have had this out, so I'm just going to dig that little strip there. Got a topsoil recycling plant over here where I'll chuck it in, they'll eat the green stuff, chew through the roots, and then bring the stones to the top because they're just constantly rooting around. All the big stuff comes to the top, get rid of those, and then we can just spread it out and even it out or use it elsewhere in the dips and hollows. Lived a long happy life, but now it's time to snip the wires and get that one out. It's pretty good all the way across. It's going to catch over here, but I don't think we're going to need it to swing back on itself. Right, let's leave it for now. We'll come back, and I think I'll just use the tractor and see if we can just scrape another few inches off and be done with it. That was a morning workout.